The Influence Architects, Mastering Persuasion and Leadership in Everyday Interactions. Let me tell you about the moment that changed everything for Lisa Rodriguez. It was October 12, 2023, and she was sitting in a conference room with 12 senior executives about to propose a complete restructuring of her company's customer service department. The proposal would affect 200 employees and required a $1.8 million investment. 6 months earlier, Lisa couldn't even get her own team to consistently follow basic procedures. She was the manager everyone ignored, the leader whose suggestions fell on deaf ears. Her ideas were good, but she lacked the influence to make them reality. But that October morning, something was different. As Lisa began speaking, she noticed the shift immediately. Executives who usually checked their phones during presentations were leaning forward. The CFO, known for shooting down every proposal, was taking notes. The CEO was nodding approvingly. What had changed wasn't Lisa's ideas. She'd always been brilliant. What had changed was her mastery of what Napoleon Hill called the influence architecture. The systematic ability to guide, persuade, and lead others through everyday interactions. In just 6 months, Lisa had transformed from an ignored middle manager into someone who could command a room of executives and get unanimous approval for radical change. Tonight, you'll learn the exact system Lisa used to develop this level of influence and how you can apply these same principles to transform your ability to lead, persuade, and impact others in every area of your life. The moment of realization. 6 months before that boardroom triumph, Lisa was facing a crisis that would either end her career or force her to fundamentally change how she operated. Her customer service team had the worst performance metrics in the company, despite having some of the most talented individuals. The problem wasn't the people or the processes, it was Lisa's complete inability to influence behavior. Her team meetings were exercises in frustration. She would explain what needed to be done, people would nod politely, then continue doing exactly what they'd been doing before. I felt like I was speaking a different language, Lisa later reflected. I had all the authority in the world on paper, but zero actual influence over anyone's actions. The breaking point came during a particularly disastrous team meeting where Lisa tried to implement a new customer follow-up protocol. Despite explaining the benefits clearly and providing detailed instructions, only 2 out of 15 team members actually implemented the change. Customer complaints continued to rise, and Lisa's boss scheduled a performance review meeting that everyone knew was code for start looking for a new job. That's when Lisa's colleague, Marcus Chen, pulled her aside and asked a question that changed everything. Do you want to know the difference between managers people ignore and leaders people follow? The influence discovery. Marcus had worked under some of the most influential leaders in the industry, and he'd noticed patterns that separated true influencers from people who simply held positions of authority. Real influence isn't about having the right answers, Marcus explained. It's about understanding how people make decisions and creating the conditions where they want to choose what you're suggesting. It's architecture. You're building something in people's minds. Marcus introduced Lisa to his former mentor, Dr. Sarah Kim, an organizational psychologist who had studied influence patterns in over 500 companies. Dr. Kim had identified what she called the 5 influence architectures, systematic approaches that the most successful leaders use to guide and persuade others. Most people think influence is about being charming or having a commanding presence, Dr. Kim explained, but real influence is about understanding how human decision-making works and designing your interactions to align with those natural patterns. The 5 influence architectures. Over the next month, Dr. Kim taught Lisa the 5 core architectures that master influencers use. Architecture 1, trust foundation. Before anyone will be influenced by you, they must trust your competence and your intentions. This isn't about being likable. It's about demonstrating consistent expertise and genuine care for others' success. Architecture 2, value alignment. People resist being told what to do, but they embrace doing what serves their own values and interests. Master influencers connect their suggestions to what the other person already cares about. Architecture 3, decision environment. The context in which decisions are made dramatically affects the outcome. Influence architects carefully design the environment, timing, and framing of their influence attempts. Architecture 4, cognitive pathways. The human brain makes decisions through predictable patterns. Master influencers understand these patterns and structure their communication to work with the brain's natural decision-making processes. Architecture 5, implementation support. Getting someone to say yes is only the beginning. True influence includes making it easy and natural for people to follow through on their commitments. Lisa's 6-month transformation. Lisa began implementing these architectures systematically, starting with her struggling team. Month 1, Trust Foundation Construction. Lisa realized she had been leading from authority rather than expertise. She began demonstrating her value through actions rather than demands. She started spending 2 hours each morning working directly with customers, handling the most difficult cases personally. This served 2 purposes. It improved her understanding of frontline challenges, and it showed her team that she wasn't asking them to do anything she wouldn't do herself. She also began weekly one-on-one meetings with each team member, focused entirely on their professional development and challenges. I stopped talking about what I needed from them and started focusing on what they needed to succeed, Lisa explained. Month 2, Value Alignment Mastery. Instead of implementing changes based on company needs, Lisa learned to frame every change in terms of how it would benefit the individual team members. When introducing the customer follow-up protocol that had previously failed, Lisa approached it differently. She met with each team member individually and asked, "What's your biggest frustration in dealing with repeat complaints from the same customers?" When they answered, Lisa showed them how the follow-up protocol would eliminate that specific frustration for them personally. The same protocol that had been ignored when presented as a company requirement was embraced when presented as a solution to their individual problems. Month 3, Decision Environment Design. Lisa learned to pay attention to when, where, and how she made requests. She discovered that timing and context dramatically affected her success rate. She stopped making requests in team meetings where people felt public pressure to resist. Instead, she began having strategic individual conversations in comfortable, private settings. She learned to make requests when people were in positive, open mind frames rather than when they were stressed or defensive. Month 4, Cognitive Pathway. Understanding. Dr. Kim taught Lisa about decision-making psychology. She learned that people make better decisions when they feel they've participated in creating the solution rather than having it imposed on them. Lisa began using what Dr. Kim called co-creation conversations. Instead of saying, "We need to improve our response time," Lisa would ask, "What do you think would happen to customer satisfaction if we could respond to complaints within 2 hours instead of 24? The team members would naturally conclude that faster response times would improve satisfaction, and then Lisa would ask, "What would need to change for us to achieve that?" They would essentially design the same solutions Lisa had originally wanted to implement, but now they felt ownership of the ideas. Month 5, Implementation Support Systems. Lisa learned that getting agreement was only half the battle. She needed to make follow-through as easy as possible. She began creating what she called success scaffolding, systems that made it easier to do the right thing than the wrong thing. When implementing new procedures, she didn't just explain them. She redesigned workflows, created reminder systems, and removed obstacles that might prevent follow-through. Month 6, Advanced Influence Integration. By month 6, Lisa was unconsciously using all 5 architectures in every interaction. Her team's performance had improved dramatically, but more importantly, other departments were asking for her advice on implementing changes. The boardroom breakthrough. When Lisa walked into that executive boardroom in October, her influence architecture was fully developed. Here's exactly how she used each architecture during her presentation. Trust Foundation. Lisa began by sharing specific customer satisfaction data that demonstrated her team's dramatic improvement over the past 6 months. She established credibility through results before making any requests. Value alignment. Instead of focusing on what the restructuring would cost, Lisa began by identifying what each executive cared most about. For the CFO, she led with ROI projections. For the head of HR, she emphasized employee development opportunities. For the CEO, she focused on competitive advantage. Decision environment. Lisa had strategically scheduled the meeting for 10 a.m. on Tuesday, when executives are most alert and receptive. She had the room arranged to encourage collaboration rather than confrontation, with materials organized to guide attention naturally. Cognitive pathways. Lisa used co-creation techniques even with executives. Instead of simply presenting her plan, she guided them through the logic that led to her conclusions. By the time she made her formal request, they felt they had participated in developing the solution. Implementation support. Lisa's proposal included detailed implementation timelines, success metrics, and support systems that would make execution straightforward rather than burdensome. The result? unanimous approval for her $1.8 million proposal, and a promotion to Director of Customer Experience. The Influence Architecture Framework. Through studying Lisa's transformation and working with hundreds of other professionals, Dr. Kim developed a comprehensive framework for building systematic influence. Phase 1, Influence Foundation Assessment. Before attempting to influence others, you must honestly assess your current credibility and relationship quality with the people you want to influence. This includes competence evaluation in relevant areas, trust level assessment with specific individuals, understanding of others' values and priorities, recognition of your current influence patterns. Phase 2, Trust and Credibility Building. Develop systematic approaches for building trust through demonstrated competence and genuine care, expertise development in areas relevant to your influence goals, consistency building through reliable follow-through, value demonstration through helpful actions, authentic interest in others' success and challenges. Phase 3, Value Alignment Discovery. Learn to identify and connect with what others truly care about. Individual value identification through observation and conversation priority mapping for key stakeholders, connection building between your requests and their interests, benefit translation from your perspective to theirs. Phase 4, Environmental and Contextual Mastery. Master the art of creating optimal conditions for influence. Timing optimization for requests and conversations. Setting selection for different types of influence attempts, mood and energy consideration and interaction planning. Framing and presentation optimization for receptivity. Phase 5, Decision Psychology Application. Apply understanding of how people make decisions to your influence approach. Co-creation conversation techniques. Choice architecture and option presentation. Cognitive bias recognition and ethical application. Resistance anticipation and prevention. Phase 6, Implementation and follow-through design. Create systems that make it easy for people to follow through on commitments. Success scaffolding for new behaviors. Obstacle removal and barrier reduction. Progress tracking and feedback systems. Celebration and reinforcement of positive changes. Real-world influence applications. Case Study 1. The project manager David Kim used influence architecture to get his chronically late project team to meet deadlines consistently. Trust building. Started personally removing obstacles that delayed team members' value alignment. Connected on-time delivery to team members' professional reputation goals. Environment. Scheduled progress check-ins during times when people were naturally most optimistic. Decision psychology. Used commitment escalation techniques where team members set their own deadlines. Implementation. Created automated reminder systems and progress visibility tools. Result. Project delivery improved from 40% on time to 95% on time over 4 months. Case Study 2. The sales director, Jennifer Walsh, transformed her underperforming sales team using systematic influence. Trust building. Began accompanying salespeople on difficult client calls to provide direct support. Value alignment. Connected sales activities to each person's personal, financial, and career goals. Environment. Redesigned team meetings to focus on solution finding rather than problem reporting. Decision psychology. Used peer influence by having successful team members share strategies rather than imposing top-down approaches. Implementation. Created simple tracking systems that made successful behaviors visible and easy to maintain. Result. Team sales performance increased 67% over 6 months with 0 turnover. Case Study 3. The department head, Marcus Rodriguez, used influence architecture to get budget approval for a major technology upgrade. Trust building. Presented detailed research showing how the technology would benefit other departments, not just his own. Value alignment. Connected the technology upgrade to each executive's specific business priorities. Environment. Made the request during quarterly planning when executives were focused on improvement opportunities. Decision psychology. Guided executives through a cost-benefit analysis process rather than simply presenting conclusions. Implementation. Provided detailed implementation timelines with minimal disruption to current operations. Result. Received full budget approval, plus additional resources for faster implementation. The psychology of everyday influence. Napoleon Hill understood that influence isn't manipulation. It's about creating genuine value for others while achieving your own objectives. Mutual value creation. True influence creates win-win situations where both parties benefit. This approach builds long-term relationships rather than short-term compliance. Ethical influence standards. Master influencers operate from a foundation of genuine care for others' well-being. They use their influence to help others succeed, not to take advantage of them. Long-term relationship building influence architecture focuses on building sustainable relationships that create ongoing value rather than one-time persuasion events. Advanced influence techniques. For those ready to master sophisticated influence approaches, advanced practitioners use these techniques. Influence stack building, layering multiple influence approaches to create compound effects while maintaining natural conversation flow. Resistance pattern recognition, identifying individual resistance patterns and adapting influence approaches to work with, rather than against, natural defensive responses. Group influence dynamics, understanding how influence operates differently in group settings and adapting techniques for collective decision-making. Cultural influence adaptation, modifying influence approaches to work effectively across different cultural, generational, and organizational contexts. The daily influence practice. Building systematic influence requires consistent daily application. Morning influence planning. Review the day's key interactions and influence opportunities. Identify specific outcomes you want to achieve through influence. Plan your trust building and value creation actions. Prepare co-creation questions and environmental considerations. Real-time influence application. Practice reading others' values and priorities during conversations. Apply appropriate influence architectures based on the situation and person. Monitor response and adjust approach in real time. Focus on creating value for others while advancing your objectives. Evening influence review. Analyze the day's influence attempts for effectiveness, identify successful patterns and areas for improvement. Plan follow-through actions that support implementation, document insights about individuals' values and decision patterns. Common influence mistakes. Most people undermine their influence through these common errors. Mistake 1. Authority-based influence, relying on position or title, rather than building genuine trust and demonstrating value. Mistake 2. Self-focused requests, framing requests in terms of what you need, rather than how the other person will benefit. Mistake 3. Poor timing and context-making requests, when people are stressed, distracted, or in negative emotional states. Mistake 4. One-size-fits-all approach, using the same influence techniques with everyone, instead of adapting to individual decision-making patterns. Mistake 5. Neglecting implementation support. Getting agreement but failing to create systems that make follow-through easy and natural. Building your influence architecture. Developing systematic influence requires deliberate practice and consistent application. Week 1-2, Foundation Assessment Review. Evaluate your current credibility and trust levels with key people. Identify your natural influence strengths and weaknesses. Observe and document others' values and decision-making patterns. Assess the quality of your current relationships. Week 3-6, Trust-building focus. Implement daily actions that demonstrate competence and care for others. Practice consistent follow-through on all commitments. Look for opportunities to provide value without asking for anything in return. Build expertise in areas relevant to your influence goals. Week 7-10-10. Value alignment mastery. Practice identifying what others truly care about through observation and conversation. Learn to translate your requests into terms of others' benefits. Develop skill at connecting your objectives to others' existing priorities. Master the art of co-creation conversations. Week 11-14. Environmental and psychological application. Begin optimizing timing and context for important influence attempts. Practice using decision psychology principles in everyday conversations. Develop sensitivity to others' emotional states and receptivity levels. Create better environments for collaborative decision-making. Week 15-18. Integration and advanced application. Combine all influence architectures into natural conversation flow. Practice adapting your approach to different personality types and situations. Develop sophisticated implementation support systems. Begin teaching influence principles to others to deepen your own mastery. Your influence revolution. Lisa Rodriguez's transformation from ignored manager to influential executive wasn't about changing her personality or learning manipulation techniques. She systematically developed her ability to create value for others while achieving her own objectives. The influence architectures she mastered aren't manipulation. They're about understanding how people naturally make decisions and designing interactions that work with these patterns rather than against them. Every day, you have dozens of opportunities to influence others. Getting your team to embrace new procedures, persuading your boss to approve your project, motivating your family to adopt healthier habits, convincing clients to choose your solution. The difference between those who influence effectively and those who struggle with compliance isn't charisma or natural talent, it's systematic understanding and application of influence architecture. Your influence development doesn't require a personality transplant. It requires learning to build trust through demonstrated value, understanding what others truly care about, creating optimal decision-making environments, applying decision psychology ethically, and supporting successful implementation. The choice is yours. Will you continue hoping people will naturally follow your suggestions, or will you systematically develop the influence architecture that makes leadership and persuasion natural and effective? Like this video if you're ready to build your influence architecture and master persuasion in everyday interactions. Subscribe to this channel for continued influence and leadership development. Comment below with your biggest influence challenge. Let's architect a solution together. Remember, influence isn't about getting people to do what you want. It's about creating situations where they want to do what serves both of your interests. Start building your influence architecture today.